Welcome to the top 10 cards of 2019 for Commander, baby.
That's right. We have no sense of originality, and we're jumping into it right now.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
And I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Before we jump into this here top 10, you should subscribe, because who else is doing top 10s nowadays?
And besides, you'll want to be a subscriber to this channel because our subscribers are 10% less likely to fall for clickbait top 10s.
Disclaimer guy here. Just want to say, you already fell for it. Gotcha.
But we sure are glad you fell for this little one.
Yeah, we're throwing our hat in the ring. We're giving our top 10. What's the only caveat we have?
The caveats are no reprints, so any card that was reprinted in the set doesn't count, and also that the card came out this year. That's it.
Yeah.
So
you're telling me we're gonna put Soul Ring on this list? No. Just because it got that new promo, that's dumb. That would be a clickbait top 10. And I'm not trying to call anybody out because I haven't seen anything like that. But if someone does that, refer them to this video and then they'll feel bad.
Number 1, Soul Ring?
Whoa!
Can't believe it.
Number 10 is 6 cards because it's the Arcane Signet and the 5 enemy talismans for Modern Horizons / the Brawl precons.
They're all 2-mana artifact ramp. They're all really good. Arcane Signet's the best one. I guess if this is a true spot for only one card, this is Arcane Signet spot.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna see play. I think Arcane Signet's a little overrated. Right now, it's just a little bit. It's a little overrated. I don't even know how many decks it sees playing.
I would say every non-green
Similar
deck.
to the Signets, no green decks.
I played on one of my green decks. Just saying.
You're allowed to make mistakes.
I think it's right.
What deck do you... Oh, the artifact, like Maelstrom Wanderer?
Boom.
Whatever.
Don't tell it, no. All right, number 9, because you know what's really boring to talk about for more than 10 seconds? Signets.
Yeah, it's like, they're 2 mana. That's good. I'm glad we have enough of those now in Commander.
They
Great.
give you 1 mana right away. They're good.
Narset, Part of Her Veils is number 9. She's 1 blue for a 5 loyalty planeswalker at uncommon. Static. Your opponents can't draw more than one card. Static. Your opponents can't draw more than one card each turn. She -2s. Look at the top 4. You can reveal a non-creature, non-land. That goes into your hand. That's all she does, but turns out it's really good.
The thing that puts us on the list and puts it at number 9 is that static ability is really insane. If you windfall, like this is only 6 mana, you go this, windfall, you pretty much win the game. You don't actually win, but you pretty much win.
I will say the game is just over. They have no resources in hand, so you have to control a board. But now you have 7 cards. Or however many.
Yeah, it probably ends the game 98% of the time. That's a random number.
In our experience, calculations, we've played thousands and thousands of games. It's 98%.
Yeah, 98% of the time it'll end the game. But also, a great thing about this card is sometimes you're not going to have that combo. It just comes out and replaces itself.
It replaces itself with with a spell. It's not gonna draw you land. I'd rather whiff than draw land sometimes. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It's gonna get you a spell if you build your deck around it.
Yeah.
If it fits in your deck, it's gonna get you a spell, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You can draw an extra card advantage, and your opponents are gonna have to attack this or devote some resources to killing it when you already got your value.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning. If it's in your deck, it's almost, if you miss, it's unlucky. Because if you put it in the right decks where it should be,
yes,
then you shouldn't be missing.
Yeah, we can move on to number 8, which is what?
Liliana, Dreadhorde General. 4 black for a legendary planeswalker. Liliana enters with 6 loyalty. Static ability: whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. +1, make a 2/2 black zombie creature token. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures, so you'll sacrifice them and draw cards. It's pretty cool. -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest.
I keep forgetting how many points this card just hits on every level.
That's so good.
It controls the board. Starts at 6, can +7 make a blocker that when it dies, you draw a card. The only warning I have for when you play this card is don't -4 expecting to draw cards when she's at 4, because she'll die and then you don't draw cards.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Everything else is just complete and utter gravy.
Even just like playing it plus and getting a 2/2, now it's being attacked, it's like, well, now I'm blocking.
Yeah, I don't care if my whole team dies protecting this, because I'm just gonna draw 4 or 5 cards.
Yeah, she gets you great value. She's awesome. I mean, this is where you really see the EDH coming out, because Narset's like an awesome card, like multi-format all-star,
Yeah,
but Liliana, right above it.
I don't know if she got restricted in something or not, but she's dumb. Liliana just has that EDH, like, she was born for this format. She doesn't really do anything anywhere else.
Yeah.
Even there's so many cards now that proliferate, like with Yawgmoth, and some other black cards and some artifacts that proliferate now, you can spam her up to 9 really quick, and then her 9 always wins the game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about Narset's always winning, but Liliana's gonna always win.
I didn't even think about that. Yawgmoth, yeah, and this is a Yawgmoth deck. If you have Yawgmoth and a couple creatures, then you just proliferate this weight up. Oh,
We had that in our Yawgmoth deck.
that's really strong.
Yeah.
You could get to
Cool.
sacrifice creatures, draw a card. Oh, it's so good.
Well, like you play her plus pass, then even if you go like something clunky like Contagion Engine, now she's ready to ult.
Contagion.
Then you win.
That is pretty clunky.
Plus the 7, Contagion Engine, boom.
Yep.
Ult.
Put this in all your aristocrat decks. Put this in any deck that has lots of creatures, and you're playing black.
It's just completely great. Absolute, probably one of my personal favorites on the list, and one I'm looking to play a lot more than I do now.
Because you played in no decks currently.
Well, I have a deck brewing that's going to have her in it.
Okay.
Number 7,
Narset's Reversal.
Narset's back, but on an instant.
On an instant, what does Narset's Reversal do?
Blue for an instant, as I just said. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hand. You may choose new targets for the copy.
This is really good in EDH because there's lots of big spells flying around. What was my favorite one? I did it to
Expropriate?
Well, Expropriate is awesome, obviously.
You're not going to cast it. You don't have 14 mana laying around.
If you have,
what is it, 9 mana? 18 mana laying around.
if you have 11 mana laying around, you can cast your own, copy it.
Yeah, it works proactively. Get a expropriate. Oh wait, there's another one in my hand, and I get an extra turn.
Or even better, you go Expropriate. If it resolves, fine. If they try and counter it, you then copy your thing, bounce it back to your hand, and get Expropriate anyway.
Insurrection, Rise of the Dark Realms.
Rise
Even
of-
just a spell that any spell they tap out for or almost tap out for, or can only cast once, just bounce it and you get it. Demonic Tutor. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take a Demonic Tutor. This card is so versatile and amazing.
This is Demonic Tutor. Okay, so if you cast on Demonic Tutor, you turn the Demonic Tutor into
Diabolic.
Tutor, which is a terrible card, and you instead got the card.
An instant speed card where you know they have Demonic Tutors. You can like tutor for a counterspell if you want. Tutor for something.
Don't get a counterspell. That like implies that the best card to have in your hand is a normal counterspell.
No. Even if you just need another one though. You slow them down. Like if that's the worst, Demonic Tutor is the worst thing that could ever happen.
I just thought it was funny. Like with Narset's Reversal, you could even get a counterspell.
You can. It's so good.
What's number 6? Finale of Devastation.
So versatile. These cards are all just. They do 85 things.
X green for a sorcery. Search your library and or graveyard for a creature with converted mana cost X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X and gain haste until end of turn.
If you have a bunch of mana, it serves as a bad Crater Hoof, which is still probably going to get you the game. If you're in an Elf Ball deck, a Tutor deck, a Hate Bear deck, Stacks deck, Creature Pod deck, this from the graveyard too. That just gives it that extra boost.
Yeah, it doesn't even need that. It's still very good without it. But
Oh, yeah.
there's so many things that this card can get. It can get protection stuff to like protect your board if you need to get something like that, like a Shalai.
Unlike Green Sun Zenith, it doesn't even have to be green. It can be any creature you feel like.
Yeah, I think I like this card more than Green Sun Zenith in Commander.
Sure, in like 3-color decks, definitely.
Like, I
When
see-
you just start get like changes from I can get a third of my deck or 40% of my deck to 100% of my creatures.
Yeah, all of my creatures are gettable because this card gets anything. This card's cool. Plus, the gravy on this card is if you happen to do it for X equals 10, you just kill everybody.
It's a tutor, a reanimation spell, or a poor man's win con. That's amazing.
I mean, it's not like I don't even describe it as a poor man's win con because in a lot of green decks, you just end up with that much mana sometimes.
You can easily.
Then it's not just a poor man's win con; it's just a good win con.
Yeah, it's just very solid. You're gonna take out somebody.
The versatility of it is what makes it so good because like casting it for X equals 3 and getting maybe some ramp, maybe some awesome 3-drop that you need to like for a combo. There's so many ways that this card can be used.
Yeah, the cards on this list, they're gonna go in a bunch of different decks. There's no niche cards on this list. The most niche card is probably Narset,
That's the most niche. Yes.
and that goes in a deck where you want to hit off or minus. Everything else is just like Liliana's like play creatures. This deck is play creatures.
Yeah, I mean, Narset says play spells. So,
Yeah,
I
play
mean,
spells.
to be fair, that's not that
Yeah, and I'm
crazy
saying
either.
that's the most. Number 5, we're in the top 5 cards of the year now. It's Sevinne's Reclamation. This card is super underrated. 2 and a white for a sorcery. Return target permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, you may copy it and choose new targets, and as flashback for 4 and a white.
So the funny thing on this card is the copy is part of the resolution of the card. So you cast it, and then once this card is resolving and the thing comes back, then you put the copy on the stack. It's really,
Oh yeah, that is pretty random.
it is really weird.
We had a tiny argument that I'm sure we'll get out in the air right now. I said this card was better than Cultivate. You thought Cultivate was better.
I think Cultivate's a better card, but I'm not saying it's like. I'm not saying like Cultivate is up here and it's down here. I'm saying like I think this is a really good
He
card.
thinks Cultivate's here, and I think Sevinne's Reclamation is here.
I think BC has always been low on Cultivate. I think he's
I am, historically, always been low on Cultivate. I don't know if I will ever play that card in a deck.
I think you haven't had the hands.
I just don't think I'll ever play it.
Well, I think because you haven't played it, you haven't had the hands where you play your third land drop.
Yeah. And you
then
don't have a fourth?
You don't have the fourth, and then you get the land drop. It feels so good. Or you untap one turn, you draw Cultivate instead of your land, and you go, well, now this is even better than the land because
I think we can both put that aside for now, maybe
Yeah.
save it for Twitter, and agree that this is white Cultivate.
this is, it can be.
We were talking about mono white needs cards. We were talking about when new cards come out, they can't just go in every deck. Mono white needs stuff to do, and this is the best, perhaps, in a mono white deck.
Yeah, this is one of the best mono white cards they printed this year.
Oh yeah, I'm happy in a Boros deck or mono white. I'm happy to build around making this card always ramp. It's not just play a million fetch lands, cycling lands, ash barrens, stuff like that still works.
Yeah, I mean, even the cheap fetch lands.
Yeah, even the cheap ones.
Yeah, well,
Grassland.
what is the stupid
Terramorphic expansion.
Terramorphic. Why was that escaping my head? I was nowhere.
Probably because it's not one of the top 10 cards of 2019.
That's only because it was only reprinted this year.
Yeah, yeah, it's only reprinted. No.
It couldn't have made the list.
Seven's Reclamation is awesome. Definitely, I challenge you to try it if you haven't, because it's only like $3.
All right, next one is great.
You want to draw cards? We'll talk about Guardian Project and its buddy, the Great Henge.
So the real number 4 is the Great Henge, but we didn't want to separate these two cards because they both have very similar effects.
So similar. Just like we're not going to have number 10 be Talismans and number 9 be Arcane Signet.
Yeah, that'd be silly. So the Great Henge is 7 green for a legendary artifact. The Great Henge is 7 green for a legendary artifact. It costs X less, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap it, add green, you gain 2 life. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it has a +1/+1 card, and you draw a card.
Non-token. That's the only downside. Is non-token. You can't just spam it in tokens deck, but any other deck, turns out it's amazing. Guardian Project is basically the same. It's 3 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever a uniquely named creature that's not a token enters, you draw a card.
Yeah, so the Great Henge is better because it's giving you counters, you keep drawing, you gain life.
Potentially costs less.
It can beat cost neutral if you have a 7-power creature.
Even if you have a 5-power creature, it still costs 2. It costs 2 mana because it nets you back the 2.
Yeah, I was just saying. Well, I'm saying you have the 7-power creature is literally just this card is free.
Yeah, this card is free and you gain 2 life. Oh my god. Great Henge is so bonkers. We also talked about, I told Joe the other day, I'm like, this goes infinite with persist creatures. And he's like, holy crap, it does.
Yeah, sack out lets persist creatures.
Draw your whole deck.
Yep. Turns out you just win when you draw your whole deck. Or you should. If you don't, fix your deck.
Yeah, just tweak it a little bit. There's probably 1 or 2 tweaks you can make where you just, now you win.
Yeah. I mean, and winning's fun.
Winning is fun, I hear. Guardian Project, I think it's better in like Enchantress decks or even just the Golgari type. Your guys are going to be small.
Yeah, that depends. Yeah, and Great Henge is obviously better in a deck where you're going tall.
Mono green, probably throw them both in.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're a mono green, playing something like a Golta deck, yeah, get the Great Henge.
Golta? Oh, now we're talking.
Get your Great Henge in your Golta deck.
That's amazing.
All right, what's number 3? This one
I
is
like to think
this one's
of-
a little busty.
I like to think of the top 3 as just, these cards are ridiculous, and they seem pushed a little bit more than they need to be, but that's fine. They're in the top 3. Dockside Extortionist, 1 red for 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, you create a treasure for each artifact and enchantment your opponents control.
Now, BZ made the good point here that I didn't even think about. This goes infinite so easily.
Oops, this is like one of the most abusable creatures to blink, mind you, with colored mana, so you can't Eldrazi Displacer, but Miss Meadow Witch or anything like that. Oh, I'm just gonna make infinite things.
It's silly. It's silly. Well, no, Miss Metal Witch doesn't work. It's on a turn. You return it.
I mean, even then, you make 5.
It's still really
You
good.
flicker it, you make 5 more. How are they ever going to stop it from happening? That was just the first card I thought of. Anything that repeatedly blinks this makes infinite treasures.
Yeah. So good.
It's just an efficient little dude. Again, this is not so much going to help Boros and Mono Red, although it obviously is. This is going to go a lot of places.
Whenever it comes in, you're gonna net mana almost always.
And if you don't
In a
net
4-player
mana,
game?
don't play it.
Yeah.
Because it's only 2 mana. And the body is irrelevant.
Yeah, the body is super relevant.
Super good in artifact decks too, where you care about artifacts dying. I'm thinking of like Marionette Master, just off the top of my head. Whenever an artifact you control dies, each opponent loses 4.
Man, Marionette Master.
You marionette those treasures.
Yeah, classic.
It's a bunch of rings on their finger, I guess.
No, they're just like, I don't know, the gold's like on strings.
Any other comments before we want to move on to the top 2?
No, I'm ready for the next one.
It's not exciting, but it's really good.
The next one?
Number 3, I mean, Dockside.
Oh, I was gonna say the next one is exciting.
No, the next one is super exciting.
It's a super exciting card. In fact, I think I need to read it off of the thing because it has a lot of words. Now, it might seem like it was only a second for you, but it was actually like 4 years for us. Bolas' Citadel is number 2. 3, black, legendary artifact. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, which that card's awesome.
For free, static ability.
But wait, there's more.
I hope so.
You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana cost, rather than paying its mana cost.
Free spells. Okay, there's got to be one more ability though. I'm almost sold.
Really? Because this is what's gonna sell you?
Yeah.
Because it's really, I don't even think it needs this last one. I think the rest of what we got.
Let's read it for fun.
Yeah, it is for fun. This is flavor text. Tap, sack 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. I've never seen that used.
If you really need to finish them off and you don't have an infinite combo, I think that last ability is great. But if you are playing the stupid 8 to Flux top combo, you just kind of find it and you win.
Yeah.
This is very close to win the game, at least the next turn, if it survives.
Yeah, this is either like you said, either Flux Fire, this card, and top wins the game. But this card in top is, what's it called?
Pay 1 life, draw a card.
It's Yawgmoth's Bargain.
Yeah, it's Yawgmoth's Bargain. And you have 40 life in this format. So if you have cards that gain life incidentally in your deck, or you just have Aether Flux Reservoir in the top 35 cards, you win.
Yeah, this card's insane. I mean, it wins so easily.
Very, very easily.
If with tutors, ways to find it, you can play this and find the top so easily. I mean, if you have a lot of expendable life, it's great. If you have a way to control the top of your library, it's great.
All 3 combo pieces are artifacts. So blue just loves finding them super easily.
Oh, artifacts. Blue's is like, ooh, I
Yeah,
want
blue's
to.
like, this is the easiest thing ever.
This is the best thing I ever did.
It's just a great value engine / win condition that doesn't bore me to death. I'm not super bored by this card, like with like Paradox Engine, for example.
Yeah, because this card's not nearly as busted. It goes off with specific cards. It's very good. It can do a ton of different things, especially if you have instant life gain in your deck. But it's not stupid, busted, and annoying or boring.
It's not broken. Really good with Extort.
Oh yeah, awesome with Extort. If you have what?
You need a couple mana lying around, but you're not going to spend the mana on spells, so
Yeah, you're just trying to play off the top of your deck to win the game.
super sweet.
If this stays around for a turn, which it never does,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
insane.
This is a maybe win, do some great things, and then if it untaps, you're like, okay, guys, why didn't you kill this?
Yeah.
You're gonna get dunked on. And the last one, the numero uno. I can't imagine you haven't guessed it by now, but it's Smothering Tithe. 3 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they can pay 2. They shouldn't, and they won't. If they don't, which they shouldn't, and they haven't, you get a treasure.
This is boring.
Another card that's really pushed with treasures.
It's so boring.
This is a boring one. It's just disgustingly good. It is the white Ristic Study in a way.
You get so much. Like, mana advantage can be just comparable to card advantage.
It definitely can. I've played this card before, and I had a good start, so I played it on turn 3. Untapped with it again, protected it once, and then I just played Death to the Deathless for like 26 the next turn. Like, it wasn't even really interesting. I was just like, oh, I guess I just deal like 70 damage.
The card's silly. The card is absolutely silly. It's weird how pushed this card is. It's for EDH specifically, because it's not like it's pushed for any other format. It's just like,
No.
I don't even know if they did it on purpose, because like sometimes I feel like Wizard just misses something being EDH playable.
Sometimes they were not on the EDH train for a very long time. This year was better. It was a lot better for EDH.
There's a lot of good cards. Look at all these good cards on this
There's a
list.
ton of good, even though we haven't mentioned, there's a ton of good commanders. The one area Smothering Tithe falls short on is instant value, so they can like Nature's Claim it on the end step, so you don't get any cards, but that's fine.
I mean, technically it doesn't get ETB value, but
That's what I'm saying.
you just have to pass the turn.
If you get 2 treasures and it dies, I don't even feel bad about that.
No, not even. I wouldn't even feel bad a little bit. You got 2 of the mana back that you put into it, and then somebody 1-for-1 did probably.
Yeah, well, it's not even the mana back. Now your next turn, if you had 6 lands, now you have 8 lands.
That's
Just for
true.
one turn, it's just a sweet boost. That's where we're gonna end it here. Those are our top 10. What did we miss? What do we not miss? What would your number one be? Would you shake this list up at all? Just let us know in the comments.
I think the top 3, looking at them right now, they're locked in as the top 3. Maybe you could shift them around in some ways.
Oh, but Smothering Tithe, Bolas, Citadel, Dockside Extortionist, in some order are the top 3?
I think
so too.
Yeah, I think that unless you want to be boring and say Arcane Sigil, it's like, yeah, that card's insane too. I
don't think it's insane. I don't think it's like that big of a boost to anything other than like mono white, mono red.
Yeah.
There's so many signets and there's so many talismans. It's just, it's fine.
Yeah, but maybe you're right. But still, we were gonna put it in honorable mention, but it ended up getting on the list because
we decided to split the Great Henge, not to split the Great Henge Guardian project.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
special shout outs.
We did it at the same time, but with different words. Thank you to our patrons and our mothers. We love you guys as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. And our moms, they're a little uncomfortable already.
Yep. Tammy and Michelle, you're great. You guys are.
You're awesome. Tell them about the link, bro.
The link. There's a link. Where is it? Is it below or is it above us?
It's in the description.
Where is it located?
It's in the description. A lot of channels I've been seeing call it show notes. It's a description.
The show notes? We don't
say in the show notes.
We don't have show notes. We have a
description.
We have a description below.
Yeah, below. It's in case you're wondering, where's this description in relation to this video that I'm watching? It's below us.
Yeah, even if you're watching it on YouTube, it's below. It's always below.
Well, where else are they watching us?
Well, I meant if they're watching us on a TV on their Roku, it's below.
It's below.
Even though it's not.
Okay, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next year.
Did we even tell them what the link was?
Nope.
Tell them the link.
Tell them the link. It's the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below.
This video comes out next year. Peace out, Trap Scout.